I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye.
Yeah, what is going on, guys? This week's video, or this video, I should say, is my end of season predictions and my finals run and what I think is going to happen, who I think is going to win, all the individual accolades that come with the end of the season. And then also tomorrow I'm going to do my... actually, I might have to do that today. I'm going to do my All-Australian prediction, but I think the actual team comes out tomorrow, doesn't it? So I'll have to look into that after I finish this. This is only going to be a quick video. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and say, first of all, I'm going to do what I hope happens, and then if my first prediction doesn't come through, I'll have a backup plan. So the first qualifying final between Richmond and Hawthorn, I do believe Richmond will win that and go straight through to a prelim. I am hearing a lot of people say that Hawthorn are the team to beat Richmond and that they have a high chance of sneaking a premiership. I do believe that to a degree. I definitely think Hawthorn are capable of winning another premiership. I think Alistair Clarkson is the wizard. He is an absolute stud when it comes to coaching footy. And I would not be surprised if Hawthorn won it. However, I don't think they're going to do it going through Richmond in the qualifying final. I think Richmond will win, and they will go straight through to a prelim. And then to the first elimination, Melbourne and Geelong. I am going to back the Cats in here. I do believe they have what it takes to win a flag from 8th. Yes, I do believe that. A guy at work who's a Hawthorn supporter did not listen to one bit of my reason behind when I said that. He was like, no one's going to win it from 8. And I said, you'll eat your words, cunt, because they're going to do it this year. So I do believe Geelong are going to beat Melbourne. Therefore, playing Richmond Hawthorn the following week. Sydney and GWS, I think with Buddy back and Parker back, I do think Sydney will win. Therefore, Sydney going through to play Collingwood, because I believe West Coast will win at home against Collingwood, sending West Coast to a prelim, and Sydney and Collingwood to play out in the semis. From there, I think Geelong will beat Hawthorn in the first semi-final. So Hawthorn out in straight sets. Call me a biased Geelong supporter and a diehard Hawthorn hater. But I do think that's how it's going to go down. So Geelong will get through to the prelim against West Coast. And I think Sydney will beat Collingwood. And Sydney will go through to play Richmond in the prelim. Geelong in the prelim over there against WA, hard task, but again, I'm backing us in to do it, into the granny against Richmond. I believe will beat Sydney at the G, and it'll be a Geelong-Richmond grand final. And from there, I am 100% backing Geelong to beat the Tigs. Now, Landers, mate, if you're listening to this, no disrespect. I know how much you love the Tigs, and you know that I love the Tigs just as much. But I'm backing in the hoops, mate, and I do believe Geelong-Richmond grand final with Cats coming away with a 10-point victory and Mitch Duncan to be best of field for the Norm Smith. That is actually genuinely how I think the finals is going to play out. I am backing the Cats. I really am. They were 3 games shy of missing a top 4 spot, and that was against Richmond. They lost by 3 points. Who was it? Bulldogs, they lost by 2 points, and we lost to Hawthorn by a point during the year. So 3 kicks go our way. We're in the top 4. So I think our good footy can get the job done. However, if that's not how it plays out, I think it'll go Richmond to beat Hawthorn, Melbourne beating Geelong, meaning Melbourne and Hawthorn playing. I think Hawthorn wins that and goes to a prelim against West Coast. And I think Sydney will go to Richmond in the prelim, and I think Richmond will win that, and then Hawthorn again, and it'll be a Hawthorn-Tigs grand final, which, to be honest, would be an absolute massive grand final. They'd have to get extra chairs and pack in 250,000 to the G, and I think Richmond would come away with the chocolates there. Now, to the Brownlow. Tom Mitchell is an out-and-out favourite, with good reason. I definitely think he's got enough votes to get him over the line. But I am going to back Dusty Martin to go back-to-back because at the start of the season, he had some really good games. Then during the mid-season, people were saying, oh, he's not at his best, but he was still playing enough to get 1 to 2 votes a game. And then he finished off super strong. So with Nat Fyfe out of the question, I think Dusty Martin takes the chocolates there. I am backing him to go back-to-back. I do have, at the start of the year, I put money on Gary Ablett Jr. to win the Brownlow. I think he was paying like $41. But yeah, I don't think that's going to come to fruition. That's $50 that I could have put somewhere else. But live and die by the punt, you know what I'm saying, boys? And what else is there? Norm Smith. Yeah, if it's Richmond-Hawthorn grand final, I think Richmond come away with the win. And again, I think Dusty Martin would win that because Dusty Martin turns up in the clutch. If you look at the games that Richmond just won this year, a lot of that influence is Dusty coming through in the clutch moment. So he steps up in big games. I'm backing him to get the to get the Norm Smith if Richmond get the job done. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll have my All-Australian prediction coming out. And yeah, have a good one.
I hate the new Kanye, the bad mood Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz in the news Kanye. I miss the sweet Kanye, chop up the beast Kanye.